Hi there everybody, this is David and welcome to New RPG News. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today, from some Square Enix news, some good news, some bad news, and some Square news. We also have a new Langrisser, which looks oddly like Unicorn Overlord, which is a good thing to me, and a ton of great translations too for some Japanese-only games that have now been released in English, among other things, and I'm going to be telling you all about it. And that's totally worth the sub as you come and you join our party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your brand new hype. It helps me out a ton. So, first top story, my most anticipated game of the entire frickin' year, Final Fantasy Resonance. Loving it. We have a pixel trailer, latest details, and screenshots going over the vision system, the espers, the completionist elements, and more have been introduced. So this is Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, taken and turned into a console game, kind of like how Champions of the Continent was turned into Octopath Zero. This is just the first act of that game. They said it's going to take about 50 to 60 hours. It is a full, complete console game, no gacha, none of that. That's why I'm so looking forward to it. Turn-based combat, all that kind of good stuff. So this is a long article. I'm not going to go over all the stuff in the article because it's way too long, but we'll talk about some of the little places and everything. It says we have the starting town, Dilmagica, the Machinopolis. Engineers abound in the Steelforge City, the birthplace of airship technology. Dilmagia was once home to the first Cid, a master airship mechanic who developed the technology that united man and sky. As time passed, Cid stopped referring to the single individual, and the finest engineer of each age now takes on his name. So we have a little, some little pictures right there. And then we have another place. This is Oldarian, the Aquapolis, the capital of the Oldarian Federation, blessed with abundant crystalline waters. Oldarian has long been safeguarded by a clan known as the Wardens of the Waters. The city is kept safe by the prayers of the Maiden of Water, and by an esper known to locals as the God of Water. Before the proliferation of airships, the city was a juggernaut in the shipbuilding industry and thriving naval transport hub. So we have some pictures there, and we have our characters. Lyd, not Cid. I guess she's not, that great of an engineer, but she's an airship engineer. She lives there along with her brother, who's been helping out around the family forge since she could first hold a wrench. All her time tinkering with machines has put her in easy contention for becoming the next Cid, an honor bestowed upon the top engineer in Dilmagina. So Lyd will be joining your party. Unfortunately, her hot brother will not be joining the party. Oh, hopefully he does. God. Then we got this guy, Nicole. Let's see, he's a strategist for the Oldarian Federation. Having been brought up by a family of Wardens of the Waters, longtime guardians of the Water Shrine, Nicole's passion for defending his homeland far exceeds most. He's tactical, objective, and never loses sight of the bigger picture. Despite this, he often gets roped into Rain and Company's shenanigans. And then it goes on, talks about more characters, talks about the battle system, talks about the visions. Like, this is a very, very, very long article. We have visions of Cecil, we got Bart's right here, we got Squall, we have Zydan, we have Titus, whatever, who looks odd. Well, just, yeah, odd. I swear to God, every single time that they take Titus and they put him into a different game, they change how he looks. They completely change him every single time. Like, pick a lane, Square, figure out how you want him to look. Like, it's really kind of ridiculous. But like I said, this is a very, very, very long article. Tons of stuff that is going over right here. I could take up the entire news thing just talking about Final Fantasy Resonance. Next in news that should surprise no one who's actually paying attention, Final Fantasy XIV Mobile is ending their service on September 30th in China, and the version that was going to come out globally for everybody else has been canceled. A swift end to the mobile MMORPG. So, yeah. The global version is no longer in development. They released a full statement right here. I don't really want to go over it because it came and it went like a little tiny blip. It first came out in June 19th of 2025. It's ending in September, so just a little bit over a year for this one. Star Ocean: The Second Story R is now available for the Nintendo Switch 2. There is no upgrade from the Switch version. Yay! Thanks, Square. We can always count on you. It also says that the Switch 2 version is going to be on the Nintendo eShop for $50. It does not mention a physical edition. The Switch 2 version is not compatible with save data from the Switch version. There was also no upgrade path from the Switch version. Woohoo! Yeah, okay, just buy the Switch version then. It's more Dragon Quest! Dragon Quest Monsters The Wither World details battle, synthesis, and new monsters. Assemble a party of monsters to take down your foes. I love the Dragon Warrior Monster series ever since I first played it back on the Game Boy. Back whenever I guess it was probably in 8th grade, 9th grade? I don't know. I think it was probably 9th grade, high school-ish, whenever Dragon Warrior Monsters came out of the Game Boy, and I loved it. I'm such a huge fan, such a huge fan. So it says that you get 4 monsters in your party, 4 more in your reserves. You can swap them out whenever you want to. Each of them also have their own spells and abilities. They come with their own sets of traits that can have special effects during battle, all that kind of stuff. And then also Bianca and Nera have something called Wrangler Spirit, and they have different effects. It's kind of like their coup de grace or their limit break or whatever that happens during battle. And whenever Bianca's goes off, it heals your HP and it boosts your attack power. If you're playing as Nera, though, that restores MP and raises defense. So they're kind of opposites of one another. The game features over 500 monsters divided into 8 different families, like slimes and dragons and things like that. And there's also 9 different ranks of monsters, as well as either small or large monsters, along with their own personalities. If a monster is large, it's going to take up 2 slots. So you could have 4 large monsters in your party, or you could have 8 small monsters in your party, or you could have 6 small and 1 large. So that sort of thing. It says that whenever they level up, they'll gain talent points, and then you could use the talent points in various, talent trees, I suppose, to gain new abilities, that sort of thing. This is just like, Sorrow's adventure that we saw a couple of years back, and it's just so cute. And whereas Sorrow's went over the world of Dragon Quest IV, this is going over the world of Dragon Quest V, and I think that this is preparing us for the Zenithon trilogy. It's so freaking cool. I have to wonder, because we already got a Dragon Quest Monsters Terry's Wonderland, which obviously followed Terry from Dragon Quest VI, if they're going to do a remake of that, and then that's going to be the next Monsters game, or maybe, I don't know, because we've seen a Monsters game for 8, there was Young Yangus thing going on, we've seen one for 7, that was Caravan Heart in the Game Boy Advance. I don't know where they're going to go with this next, but I like what they're really doing with it. I guess they could maybe go back to 1, 2, and 3 and do something there. Maybe follow, I don't know, a young Prince of Cannock or something like that. Maybe do the Prince and the Princess of Cannock together and they could do a thing like that. I don't know. But this is such a cool game. I love the Dragon Warrior Monsters series. Next up, we have Unicorn Overlord 2. Oh, wait, no, it's Landgrisser Sea of Sword. First gameplay trailer, details, and screenshots. The latest evolution of the Landgrisser series that looks literally just like Unicorn Overlord, from the art to the real-time strategy to the battle system to everything, which I think is great. I mean, it was a fantastic game, so hey, if you want to, take it and copy it and make your own little thing, hey, go ahead and do it. Everybody's doing it for Expedition 33, so hey, might as well do it here. Let's see what we got going on here. It says that this is out for the PC and smartphones. It doesn't look like there is going to be a console version of this game, which is very unfortunate because this looks fantastic, and I think it would do great on the Switch. I mean, look at this thing. It's pixel art. It's gorgeous. It says, at this time, we've broken away from the rigid framework of traditional linear stage progression and evolved the game into a strategy RPG experience built around both tactical depth and free exploration. You'll become the Nameless, a figure searching for lost memories from the shadows. Alongside a mysterious white-haired girl, you rise from mire and mist into a world of shifting loyalties, impossible choices, and nations standing on the brink. Across a mist-shrouded sea, hidden currents begin to stir, and a new saga unfolds. The hero and soldier system has always been the soul of the Landgrisser series. This time, while preserving the classical tactical logic of heroes leading troops, we've expanded it into a hybrid combat system featuring 2 heroes and 2 troop types. In the past, each squad was led by a single hero, but in Landgrisser Sea of Sword, 2 heroes can now enter the battle together. You can assign any hero as your main or secondary hero and switch between them flexibly on the battlefield. You'll build a continuous living Landgrisser world with free exploration now in your hands. The sense of adventure unique to JRPGs will become part of every strategic step that you take. Forests, towns, royal cities, caves, this time you can explore them yourself. Yeah! So it's It's just like Unicorn Overlord, you know? It's raw, it's so cool. Maps now include light puzzle mechanics and terrain shifting elements, making exploration even more engaging. Through NPC interactions and material gathering, you can uncover hidden story details and unexpected encounters tucked away in every corner. As your adventure progresses, you'll unlock your own territory. A powerful army cannot grow without careful management. From a humble camp in the mud to a commanding fortress that controls an entire region, every step will bear witness to your growth. Like, look at these pictures, especially like look at this. Like, look at this! If that isn't Unicorn Overlord, I don't know what is. Like, that is carbon frickin' copy. Say what you will about, I loved Unicorn Overlord, and they said, Vanillaware came out and they said, no, we have no plans for a Unicorn Overlord sequel. So, I mean, if they have no plans for one, yeah, go ahead and do this, you know, why not? What is going, good God. Step on me. Like, holy God, man. Okay, wait, hold on. Look at that. Oh my God. Okay, anyway. It's Panty Party. No, actually, well, that's a real game. There is really a game called Panty Party. There is. I've gone over it before. I know, it's crazy. It's not Panty Party, it's Pretty Party Going Overboard with panties. No. Launches November the 12th in Japan and Asia, and it is coming west. It is a party game featuring characters from the Disgaea series. This is a 4-player party game for the PlayStation 5, Switch 2, Switch, and PC, launching November 12th in Japan and Asia. NIS America also announced a Western release, but with a to-be-determined release date. You and your friends will do whatever it takes to defeat the Supreme Overlord and his protagonites. In practice, it's quite simple. Move around the board, earn experience, acquire more powerful equipment, and turn in quests to stay ahead of the curve. Then, when a boss spawns, work together to take him down. But friendships don't last long in Pretty Party Going Overboard. Only the player who brings the boss back to spawn gets the credit, so do whatever it takes to become the hero. Throw, fight, and squabble your way to victory. Whatever you do, don't just die all at once, or it'll be game over for everyone. Yeah, so if you like party games and things like that, this might be a lot of fun. I have no friends though, so can't really play it. Bethesda Game Studios announces a roadmap: The Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, Fallout 3, and Fallout New Vegas remasters, and more. Obsidian Entertainment is also working on a Fallout project. Wow, how many Fallouts do you need? Good God. Okay, so it says that The Elder Scrolls 6 is now its primary focus, while the newly announced Fallout 5 has entered pre-production, and Fallout 3 as well as Fallout New Vegas remasters are currently in the works. It also confirmed the recent rumor that Obsidian Entertainment has started working on a Fallout project, and that Starfield will continue to expand with new stories, gameplay improvements, and additional updates. There is a full statement about everything that goes on right here, but in the news, we just kind of cover the basics here, so that's what you get. I think that this just looks neato. I like it. Elements Destiny launches this fall. It is a 2D retro-inspired fantasy RPG that is now getting a release window. So it's coming out for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC this fall, blank, 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 burr. So I guess that would be September, October, November, December, some month ending with burr, coming out this year. Step into Erica's shoes and join her on her seemingly hopeless mission to find all those who have been chosen to face the dark threat. Assemble a powerful and at times also cheerful team that not only supports each other in battle, but also helps one another overcome challenges within the game world. Face unspeakable creatures that are out to hunt you down. In tactical turn-based battles, it's up to you to find the right strategy for victory and make the most of your party's abilities. But it's not just hostile creatures and enemies that will await you. Sometimes it might just be as important to face your own fears. Along the way, Erica, Leah, Malene, and Karen encounter a vast array of characters. Some will have quests available for them, others will be intent on achieving their own selfish goals, probably Karen. And some will offer a weird and strange view on the events happening in Solitus. Only one thing is certain: each of them could steer the story in a completely new direction. Which one remains to be seen. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Nintendo Switch 2 Edition Overview Trailer. The enhanced RPG is due out on July the 30th. So it's digitally July the 30th, physically October 1st. Whenever I say physically, that is a real physical edition. So it says that this has been enhanced with 4K resolution, full HD in handheld mode, 60 frames per second. Discover a new rare blade and control your blades in fights to mercenary squad battles. The new rare blade, Momo, from Xenosaga 2. Yeah, I'm gotta wonder, if maybe they're going to go in and this is like their little tell of saying, hey, we've remastered the Xenoblade games. Xenosaga is next. And then wouldn't it be cool if they went back to the Xenogears? I would just die. Or like a Xenogears 2. Like, I love Xenogears. Xenogears, of the Xeno games, I like the Xenoblades. And I love Xenogears. The Xenosagas, I'm like, But the Xenogears and the and the Xenoblades, like, great. I would love to see them go back to Xenogears. Not only is there an additional blade out there for you to find along with a quest to complete, but you can directly command your blades in a new action battle mode. Unlock new equipment designs for Pyrrha and Mithra. Customize the look of Pyrrha and Mithra with new equipment designs exclusive to this Nintendo Switch 2 edition of the game. Of the Xenoblades, this one was my least favorite of them all, so I am interested to see how this definitive edition fixes things. I'm hoping that it does fix things, and it isn't just like a graphical remaster, that they actually went through and they fixed some of the problems. Totes, not my thing, but it might be your thing, so here we go. I can't even pronounce it. Ao? Ao? I don't know. Oni 2 coming to Switch, Steam on August the 6th. This includes a brand new scenario, Ao Oni Seaside School. I'm just going to call it Ao, I have no idea. The cult classic horror RPG sequel that I've never heard of, but it's a cult classic, sure. Ao Oni 2 originally released in 2016 for Switch and PC on August 6th worldwide, but this has a brand new scenario, Ao Oni Seaside School. The developer announced it will be in English. It says, I just don't like horror things. I don't know. And like looking at it, it's kind of like but also it's horror, so it's just like, yeah, it's got 2 strikes. Like, I'm done. A double dose of blue terror in an abandoned rain-slick school. The latest installment in the legendary horror franchise Ao Oni. It's legendary. It's a cult classic. No one's ever heard of it. Uncover the mystery while fleeing for your life. A pulse-pounding puzzle horror action adventure. This time, the stage is set in a school featuring 2 massive star-studded scenarios. Years ago, a school was abruptly shuttered, left to rot. Looking for a thrill, Hiroshi, Takuro, Take-Shi, and Mika break in for a test of courage, only to black out and wake up trapped inside of a makeshift prison cell. To their surprise, they're joined by their teacher, who had spotted them sneaking in and followed them inside. Will they find a way to escape this desolate school alive? Like, okay, I'm just going to talk a little bit, I'm just going to go a little bit off topic here. I have played like Sweet Home and stuff like that. As far as horror RPGs, I've played Shadow Hearts, but I feel like that's more comedy. Like, Shadow Hearts is hysterical. I really do like that. I've played Kodelka, I've played some of these horror RPGs, but just in general, like, I'm not a fan of horror. I was kind of traumatized at a very young age. I must have been 4 or 5 years old. And we went to a family reunion at my Uncle Buster's house. It was in like South Carolina, I think. And we're spending the night at his house in this family reunion. And my parents were on the bed. There was only one room for all 4 of us. My parents were on the bed. Me and my brother had to sleep on the floor. And my father's like, I've always wanted to watch this movie, and your uncle has it. And he puts in the VCR, in the movie, he puts in The Exorcist. And I start watching The Exorcist, and I'm like 4 years old, laying on the floor. I'm like, what in the world? And like, I'm looking at it, and my mother says, turn around, face the wall. But I couldn't sleep, because I'm like listening to The Exorcist, and I'm listening to like screaming and devilry and all this kind of stuff, and it's like freaking me out at 4 years old. Then I remember, I was probably in 6th or 7th grade, and I couldn't sleep. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. So I'm turning on the TV, and I go on TBS, and Carrie was on. And I'd heard of Carrie. I didn't know what it was about, though. And I'm watching it, and it just seemed to be about a girl with a crazy mother who was a high schooler, kind of like a social outcast high school girl. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of a cool movie. So I sit there and I watch it, and then the prom scene happens, and everything else happens, and I'm like, oh my God! Couldn't sleep that night either, so I'm just gonna be kind of like traumatized by horror, so I'm just not really a fan of horror in general. Echo Weaver launches on October the 8th for the PS5, Xbox, Switch 2, and PC. It's also available via Game Pass. It says, time is your greatest resource and secrets are your only upgrades. Master an unraveling time loop in this knowledge-based Metroidvania. As a last Weaver, exploit time-altering anomalies and use what you learn to break the cycle. Explore what remains, uncover the mystery, perfect the loop. Every power you'll ever yield is already at your disposal. You just don't know it yet. Each new loop offers up more clues. Every reset becomes another opportunity to optimize. Put the pieces together, unlock your potential, and chart one perfect loop to deliverance. In this unique genre mix for fans of both Outer Wilds and Ori the Blind Forest, Master Time itself just shattered the cycle once and for all. I played Ori the Blind Forest. It was like the hardest game I've ever played in my entire life. Was not a fan. But this looks really fun. Souls-like action RPG Fountains, coming to the PS5, Xbox, and Switch in 2026 alongside new DLC. It is currently available for the PC. Looks like it's only coming out with the Switch 1, not the Switch 2. This has been out of the PC since December of 2024. The Fountain of Youth was hidden away. Nevertheless, it is fated that a usurper will slay the ageless and unearth it once again. Fountains is a Souls-like action RPG built around fighting your way through maze-like interconnected seamless world. You'll take control of a hooded stranger, recently imprisoned by a tyrannical regime. Will you escape and uncover the mysteries of this war-torn empire? I don't know, because I don't play Souls games. Just too hard! I played Battletoads back in the day. Like, I put in my time with hard games. I don't need them now. Indie Live Expo is set for December the 1st, featuring dozens of announcements, world premieres, concert updates, surprise launches, and more. The broadcast will highlight 2027's must-have indie titles, featuring dozens of announcements, including world premieres, blah, 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 blah. The annual Indie Live Expo award ceremony will bestow honors upon critically acclaimed titles, selected by prominent figures from across the games industry. Additional information, including participating judges and the full program lineup, will be announced at a later date. So that'll be nice, see, what's going on in the indie scene. So that'll be something to look forward to right there. Wuthering Waves Elysium animated series has been announced. Kurdo Games launches new animation brand Kurdo On Road. Having announced Wuthering Waves Elysium, the new animated series based on the free-to-play open-world action RPG Wuthering Waves. The launch marks a new chapter for Kurdo Games as it expands Wuthering Waves' universe beyond the game and offers fans another way to experience its characters, stories, and world through animation, reads the announcement. It will be available in English, so that's always good to know if you want to watch this anime. I don't really watch anime, so I won't be. I am so hooked to the new Little House on the Prairie, though. I think it's so cool. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I used to read the Little House on the Prairie books to my kids whenever I taught school, and I loved them, and my kids loved them too, and they do like research projects on it, on the West, and what was going on and everything, and it would be a great way to introduce geography, and all this other kind of stuff. It was a great way to like tie in history with literature. But anyway, I love the old series when I was a kid, the Michael Landon series, but this new series, it follows the books so much more, and it's so good. In some sad news, Midgar Studios, they're the French developer who created the Edge of Eternity RPG, and the upcoming Edge of Memories RPG is shutting down. It is forced to declare bankruptcy. So they won't be developing any more games, or maybe they'll move on to a different company or something. However, they have stated that even though Midgar Studios is shutting down, Edge of Memories is still safe. Edge of Memories will still be coming out later on this year, so don't worry about that if you've been looking forward to the game. I did a preview thing on the game. I really enjoyed what I saw, so I am looking forward to it, and I am happy to know that the game is still safe and it will still be coming out even though the studio behind it is closing down. Okay, now we got some rapid fire translations that I'm going to be going through because a lot of games got translated really recently, and I just kind of want to go over them all. Full Metal Alchemist 3, The Girl Who Succeeds God, has gotten an English translation. This came out for the PlayStation 2 back in the day. I want to say that we got 2 games here in the West, but we never got this third one. So if you are a fan of Full Metal Alchemist and you want to check this out, that's lovely, Heather. Okay, that's just fantastic. And you want to check this out, then yeah, be sure to do so. That's just okay. I fixed it. Let's just go through these little screenshots real fast so you can kind of see a little bit about what it is about. Yeah, just a little. It's like, wow, what is going on with that animation? Good God, girl. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. We have a full English translation for Tales of the Heroes Twin Brave Innocents R demo. So yeah, this is coming out as well. So yeah, kind of cool. really neat right there. I've never played, I need to play Tales of Innocence. I have the translation for the DS version of the game, and then they were going to release, and I was going to play it, and then they were going to release Tales of Innocence R for the PlayStation Vita, because they released Tales of Innocence, or they released Tales of Hearts R in English for the Vita, and then they created and released Tales of Innocence R for the Vita as well, but they never released that in the West because the Vita failed. And then they were going to create Tempest R as well for like a Triverse thing, but they never got to that one either, which is unfortunate. Hopefully with this Tales of Remastered project, we will finally get those games here in the West, and they will finish Tempest R, and whenever they do bring over Innocence, that we'll get that Innocence R version. I would really like that, so that I wouldn't have to worry about this right here. Moving right along, Brightus got an English translation. This is interesting, though. This is a 1999 action RPG developed by Quintet, of all people. Yeah, really fascinating. The studio behind Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and Terranigma. Published by Sony Computer Entertainment, it was never released outside Japan. The patch makes the whole game playable in English. And this looks so much like the Grand Stream Saga, which is also developed by Quintet. So yeah, like this thing looks great. I'm going to have to check this out. I played the Grand Stream Saga. I didn't really like the Grand Stream Saga, but I played it, and it is what it is with it. But this looks better. So yeah, and it's also a Quintet game, Heaven and Earth trilogy. You know what I mean? Let's go check it out. And then finally, Zool, Meijo Charmer Legend has a full English translation. This is for the N64, y'all, and it's an RPG for the N64, I know. Let's see, it says, uses translating all dialogue, menus, and on-screen text. Beyond the translations, there is a number of amenities and bug fixes. Among them is an increase to walking and texting printing speeds and a rename house. Please read the read me right there. So yeah, if you want to check out like this lost RPG from the N64, what is with their noses? Like, look at this guy's nose, and then look at this guy's nose. Like, what is going on there? That's just interesting. So anyway, like, I just thought these translations were really freaking cool, and I just wanted to go over them. So that's it for the news this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, have a good day.